22nd of July 2025 is just about around the corner. And if you're a migrant in the UK, or for most migrants in the UK, especially those that have just come in, whether as students or skilled workers, it's not just another date, but it could be a life-changing date for most, if not all, migrants, and even for those that are looking into coming to the UK, whether as students or skilled workers. This is a significant date. So I thought last time, about a week ago, I shared on this platform all the changes that came about on the 1st of July with regards to immigration, with regards to the white paper. And it looks like they've said it, the changes are coming on the 27th of July, but all subject to parliamentary review or parliamentary approval. So we've been fingers crossed this whole while, but the date is around the corner, and I thought, let's just share what are some of the things that we can do as migrants living in the UK, because now is not the time for panicking, but a time for preparation. So in this video, we're just going to go through changes and who is getting affected and some of the things that could help you prepare for the changes that are coming as a migrant. So a big welcome, and let's get right into it. So from the 22nd of July 2025, what we know definitely for now is that the UK Home Office or UK government is putting an end to the care worker visa, and also changes that they're implementing is enforcing the salary threshold, moving the salary threshold for the skilled worker visa from £37,000 to £41,700 per year if a UK employer is to actually sponsor an employee from abroad. So these changes are impacting mostly, especially people that are on a skilled worker visa or graduate role. And also part and parcel of the changes that are coming in is the introduction of the shortage occupation list, which I made a specific video on what are some of the possibilities or the things that we're hoping this could bring about, including the care work route coming in. And what that means as far as shortage occupation list is concerned is that a lot of occupations that used to be sponsored to come to the UK will no longer be eligible. Over 100 occupations are actually coming off their sponsorship list or the visa route for the UK. So that's quite significant. That's quite life-changing. Also, the changes that we know already is the fact that this is subject to parliamentary approval. So a lot of things have been happening behind the scenes, from people writing to the Home Secretary, from people writing to the government, from other stakeholders raising concerns, especially around the care worker route. So whether or not they will still go ahead and stop it, we will find out on the 22nd of July. But I always say this is something that you can always do. And part and parcel of what you can always do is to stay informed, to stay prepared, and to stay positive. So we are going to be talking also about some of the things that you can do. And first and foremost, and part of what you can do actually is to check your visa. Check whether or not your visa is still up to date or you're still legal in the country. I've been getting a few phone calls and a few feedback from a lot of people saying, I didn't realize the organization I worked for had their sponsorship revoked, only to find out that I'm only left with 15 days to find a prospective sponsor. So it's entirely up to you as a migrant, as a visa holder, to keep checking. Also, part of what you can do is to make sure that your documents are up to date. Make sure that your e-visa has been updated with the transition that came about last year, where they are moving towards having an e-visa. Make sure you've updated your e-visa. Make sure you're all legal migration documents are up to date, from your sponsorship to your visa to your passport. Just stay with documents that are up to date. Also, part of what you can check is to keep checking your visa conditions. There could be other changes that could just be slipped into these visas. So what you need to do is to constantly be on top of your visa conditions. Make sure you are also abiding by the do's and don'ts of your visa. We know definitely a big one is recourse to public funds. A lot of people do flout this visa rule for whatever reasons, but if you're watching this video, please be on top of your visa conditions. Do stay the limits of your visa conditions. Also, part and parcel of some of the visa conditions that people do break is in terms of your working hours. I'm a healthcare assistant. I came on a care worker visa, and I know you can work for your employer that is sponsoring you for unlimited number of hours, but also you're limited to working 20 hours elsewhere. So it's important that we abide by those rules, because the implications going forward, what we know definitely is that the government is tightening its screws on immigration, is really keeping an eye on immigration. I was reading sometime last week that employers or companies that were employing illegal migrants had been fined close to £700,000. Now that is huge, and we only got to know of the employer side of things. We don't know the implications on the one that is working but under illegal visa conditions, flaunting their visa conditions. So if you're watching this video, please do check your visa conditions and do stay within the limits of your visa. The second thing that you would need to do, and I encourage you to do this one definitely, is to stay informed. Being informed makes sure that you stay ahead of everyone, of everything. And the best way to do so, if you're living in the UK, whether or not this affects you, is to make sure that you bookmark the website gov.uk. It's part and parcel of what I've done. No wonder why as soon as there is an update on the gov.uk website which affects migrants specifically, I do get an email, and then I just click on that email and I go and read through, extract whatever information that I do want. So instead of you waiting on having to hear other websites or in the news, you can get directly information straight from the Home Office website, and I encourage you to do so. If you're on this platform, if you're a subscriber here, if you're watching this video, definitely do bookmark that, subscribe, so that you do get emails whenever there is an update. And I don't know if this works if you are not living in the UK, but if you do live in the UK, you definitely get the emails coming. So you just try it, and you do put in the comments what your experience around that would have been. The second way of getting informed definitely is for you to follow reputable channels, reputable blogs that do information like this. And another way of really doing this is staying on this channel, because we definitely are following up on this story. We are following up on these updates as far as migration or immigration policies are concerned. Is because we are part and parcel of the people that are affected. We are living that life. It's a lived experience for us. We are actually navigating that journey. So what a better way of us doing that together, because it's of interest to us. My family and I came on a care worker visa in 2022. So we are on a journey of uncertainty, a journey of planning ahead, rescheduling, rethinking. We never know what this journey will take us, because what we know is all these changes are implemented and up until 2028. So if you're planning on staying in the UK or planning on relocating to the UK up until 2028, it's a good thing for you to join us on this platform, because we're going to be sharing with you our experiences, all the changes, and how we are coping with them, how it's affecting us along the way. Also, part and parcel of getting informed is definitely, I encourage people to talk to a legal advisor. Do follow legal advice pages, and if you're a migrant, I do encourage you to follow a Facebook page or blog page called Tulia. I'll put the link in the description. I do follow them, and they are up to date with updates as far as anything that concerns migrants, the migrant community, opportunities, support, and anything to do with migrants. They do offer that support, and also they've got their own in-house legal advisors. So this could be because you want to know. This could be because you are in a situation that do require legal advice. This could be to do with your visa or your sponsorship situation. And what I encourage you to do when you reach out to legal advisors is that reach out to them as soon as possible. One of the things that most migrants do is they go ahead and do certain things or take certain steps, and then look for legal advice after already taking a few steps or when it's too late. So I do encourage you to reach out to a legal advisor as soon as possible, and reach out to them with full information, with full paperwork or full facts. Document everything that you're going through. Last but not least on getting informed is, when you are in a situation, definitely do document things, write things down, write the dates, so that in the event that you need to speak to your legal advisor, you're sharing with them factual information. You're giving them full information so that they know how best to assist you. The third thing that I can encourage you to do is to plan ahead. Plan 6 to 12 months ahead. I mean, for the years, these changes have been coming in and they are intensifying. And I know I'm hopeful, but there is no going back. They know what they want to do when it comes to net migration, and the least that we can do is start planning ahead, 6 to 12 months ahead. Have a plan. These plans could be in terms of, do you want to go back home or you want to move to a different country altogether? Those are part and parcel of the plans I'm talking about. Also, I'm talking about those that are wanting to switching from one employer to another, switching from one visa route to another. If you're watching this video and it's before the 22nd of July 2025, there's still that open window, but after the open window, some of these changes may not allow you to be switching jobs or switching visas. So do plan ahead, do plan now. And part of the changes that are coming is that you need to stay with an employer for 3 months before you can actually switch employers. It's part and parcel of the condition. So you need to stay ahead. You need to stay informed. And also, if part of your plans involve indefinite leave to remain or switching sponsorship, you have to plan for it. I always say, every plan for how you're going to fund that. You need funding. You need to know you've got money at hand for you to make those applications whilst you still can. At the moment, they haven't said anything about indefinite leave to remain, whether it's moving from the 5 to 10 year rule as had been proposed before. We are all going to know after the 22nd of July 2025. But in the meantime, have those plans. And part of the plans that you can make is in terms of savings. It's about time. I know most migrants, especially African migrants, really live for the moment. It's about time that we have savings. And by that, I know a lot of people are doing certain things abroad, certain projects over here, but financial security, having savings can really give you a lifeline in terms of thinking, then maybe it's time that I relocate to another country. It's about time maybe I enroll for a course in a university. And we're all going to be talking about these things on this platform because I'm also living these plans. I'm also contemplating, I'm also making my own plans, and definitely I guarantee you I'm going to be sharing my next steps, especially considering that it's been 3 years that I've been in the country, and also with the changes coming, I've had to sit down with myself. I've had to go back to the drawing board and start rethinking what are my next steps. But these involve 6 to 12 months plan. I always say have a contingency for a year at least if you're living in the diaspora. The fourth thing that I want to share with you is the fact that take maximum advantage of what you can do now. I've always shared to say, as migrants, we are wired, or we are, conditioned to always be looking for it. I always will be emphasizing on the fact that take advantage of certain things that you can do now. And part of these things do involve upgrading, upscaling. Enroll in a course that will give you an edge over others, that will give you options going forward. If it means there are, especially for those that have been in the country for 3 years, there are certain things that you can do. Part and parcel of those things is you are eligible for apprenticeship. Get yourself on an apprenticeship. And what that means is you can actually study a course, a valuable course, whether you're on a dependent visa, on a skilled worker visa. Find an opportunity to study and upskill. Find an opportunity within your organization to enroll on an apprenticeship. I'll share a video on this, so do stay tuned on this because I've got good news coming. I've got a video that is on its way about this. Also enroll in certain courses, vocational courses. Enroll yourself on those online courses. Please do so. I know a lot of people have been inquiring about NVQs, what they can do, which institutions they can enroll with. I will make a video specifically on that because I think if you had been thinking, well, I don't need that, I'll study when I have my indefinite leave to remain, I think these changes that are coming on the 22nd of July 2025 should make you rethink your upgrading, upskilling, and learning decisions going forward. So never take for granted. You could have been qualified back home, but find a course that you can do in this country. Find a course that you can do that will make you stay relevant within your organization that you're working for, relevant within the industry that you are in, at the same time opening up future doors for you. And coming to talking about studying and enrolling in courses or pursuing opportunities, learning opportunities, let's be mindful of the courses we're going to pick. Always pick those courses that will give you edge over others. Always pick those courses that are in the critical shortage list, not just for the UK, but for other countries, because what that means is you open up opportunities for yourself in other countries in the event that this UK thing does not work. So be very, very mindful, be very, very open-minded, be very careful what you're going to pick as far as these apprenticeship and courses are concerned. The fifth and last thing I want to talk about is preparation and not panic. Always prepare but never panic. Why do I say that? Through talking to others, through hearing stories from others we've lived as migrants in this for over 20 years. I do come from a family that has been, in this country for a very, very long. And part and parcel of it that they've been sharing with me was the fact that usually when changes come, they usually affect new applicants, not the ones that have been in the country a long time or those that have come before the changes come. So it's not the time for you to be making drastic decisions. Why am I emphasizing on this? Is because a lot of people did reach out to me saying, well, does it like we have to go home? It's about to start preparing back home, buying stands, buying houses back home. Chill, relax, prepare. Why am I saying that? You could miss out on opportunities for other things, like you buying a house where you're living, and by embarking on a project back home, and then you find out that the rules are not affecting people that are already in the country. They did it with dependents when they stopped care workers from bringing independence 24th of April 2024. Those that had already come before the 24th of April were exempt. They can still bring dependents even now. So usually when new changes come, they don't affect people that are already in the country, but they tend to affect future applications or applications from that date going forward. So don't panic, don't make any drastic big decisions at the moment, but instead just prepare. Just be prepared for whatever the outcome. Have a clear plan ahead. Like we said, 6 to 10 months ahead. Have a solid plan. Remember, sometimes change doesn't mean the end. We all came to the UK seeking opportunities, and in the end, it doesn't mean it's easy. I always say opportunities are never low-hanging fruits. Sometimes you have to get a ladder to reach for the fruit. Sometimes you have to go through the most for you to get the most out of that opportunity. So now is not the time for you to be isolating yourself. I'm always saying, join us. Let's build a community of migrants that will support each other, that will share hope, that will share opportunities, that will hold each other's hands going into the next step. So we all need each other. We do really, really need each other. If there is a time that we've needed to support each other, it is now. It is when all these changes are coming about that you need to be recommending which one is the next company that has got sponsorship, that is taking people. Recommend, share with friends, and share with the wider community. Share with us so that we can spread the word and we make sure that people do not end up being illegal. People don't end up having to go home even if it means they are not ready. It's the time for us to join together, and we are building a community. We are Relocation Tribe here. Subscribe to this channel. It's free. It doesn't take you much, but join this community as we're going to be sharing support as we're going to the UK. And sometimes changes like these ones really open doors elsewhere. I've been speaking to people who are already on their way out of the UK, and they've made these decisions earlier. When all these changes started to come about, they knew definitely more was going to come. They knew definitely this was not for them. And just this morning, just before I made this video, somebody asked me what I did previously. I said I'm a refrigeration and air conditioning technician. That was what I trained for back home. And they said, have you started with your skills assessment for Australia? And it got me like, oh, actually, I could start doing that. Join us on this platform. Subscribe so that you don't miss any of this journey, because we're going to be taking you through this journey. We're going to be sharing with you the next step. We're going to be needing your support, and we're going to be needing your encouragement as we embark on the next journey. So as the 22nd of July is fast approaching, now is not the time for you to just wait, but be preparing. But as you wait and prepare, act wisely. Documents are in check. Make sure your visa is valid. Make sure you're abiding by the rules. We cannot overemphasize the fact that we need to abide by the rules. And part and parcel of the sentiments that I do get, especially from the locals whenever I share a video, is the fact that we need to integrate as migrants, be respectful of the society that we live in. And part and parcel of integrating is through contribution. They insist on we need to contribute. Contribution is quite big on the agenda. So guys, stay informed and stay on this channel. Definitely subscribe, put that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the updates that we're going to be giving out, because definitely we will share when the 22nd of July comes and we know for certain what is what. We will definitely share on this platform, because it's of us, because that's what we're also waiting for. So you're not alone. So share in the comments how you're preparing, what you're preparing for, any questions you have, any answer in the comments. And don't forget to like and share this video with anybody that you think could actually benefit from this video. That's all I had for you. Let's prepare, let's be hopeful, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye for now. Thank you.